food fight. Step up to the mic, calling out the food you love and you don't like. 2 plates enter, 1 wins the fight. Who's got the flavor? Food fight decide.
Hello, welcome back everyone to the Food Fight podcast. This week we're talking about
Walkers versus Pringles. On the last episode, we had our very first lightning round, and it wasn't pretty. One of us was dominant, and as I say, do you need a minute, Dan?
we got 3 points for the last one, so it's okay.
So, yes, we've had a lot of feedback on the lightning rounds. Everyone loved it, so we're going to be doing that going forward a lot more. So, we are talking Pringles Walkers. Actually, before I do that, have you seen any of the latest episodes of the new Daredevil? I've seen it's come out. I haven't seen it just yet.
Not yet.
I am rewatching the first series on Disney just so I can get a feel for it.
I'm trying to watch it with my partner, but she hasn't seen Iron Fist and Luke Cage, so we're watching that first because I know at least some of the Defenders are in it.
I know the females in it. That's all I say.
Jessica Jones is definitely in it.
Spoiler.
She's on the advert. The trailer, sorry.
I put the first episode of the second series on, and I was like, "Oh, this is far too long. I don't know what's happened." I'm rewatching it. So I'm 5 episodes in of the first series.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil Born Again.
Born Again, yeah, of course.
Not the whole thing.
No, not the whole thing. I know the whole thing,
yeah. But
the new one. I just want to know if you've seen it, because I know on Disney they released the first 2 episodes.
Not yet. It's, as I said, it's on the list. We've already watched it, but because I know Jessica Jones is in it, and because I've heard some of the other Defenders were returning, we wanted to catch up on all that. I've seen all of them, but she hasn't.
On your list, what's your list?
So we've seen there's 5 shows in total that you need to watch to have full context for that. Kind of technically plus the movies as well, because Spider-Man and stuff. But you need
Luke Cage.
You need Daredevil Born Again, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Defenders. 7.
Defenders, I weren't that much of a fan of. The Iron Fist, I didn't know where they were going with that story.
Iron Fist, I think, is better than people give it credit for.
I thought it was good, but I thought it just got silly.
So I think all of them. I think Daredevil's the best one. It's the best. I think he plays the best character of all of them. I thought Jessica Jones season 1 was great, but it's a bit more sameish as you go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Luke Cage is great. I think Luke Cage doesn't get as enough props as it should. I think Luke Cage is probably the closest to what it would actually be like to be a superhero.
I have to disagree. I always do, but I think the Punisher is one of the better ones.
I thought that was okay.
You remind me of the guy he works with in the series 1. He's from The Bear. He's the computer guy. I just think he's really good. And series 1 of the Punisher was great. Season 2 was all right, but as I say, Frank Castle carries it, but his switch over into Daredevil as well.
I was going to say, I think he's better in everything that he's in rather than his own show. I thought that his own show was okay, but I think he's fantastic. I thought he was fantastic in the original Daredevil, and I thought he was fantastic in in Born Again, and I think he'll be very good in Spider-Man.
Is that if you give him personality, he loses it, because he's meant to be like a fearless, he's not scared of anything soldier, and then now you give him personality, feelings and whatever, it's like it kills the character a bit.
It depends what they do with it.
Well, you look at his own season 1, season 2, and you said that's not as good as his snippet appearances, because you don't see that light side.
More because like the Punisher's the type of character who I think you want to, that like Wolverine was, right? Like you want to just get straight into it. Like it's cool watching his origin story, which is essentially what that was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a bit long-winded. Like, I'm not really bothered about what he's doing. I'm bothered about more really kicking ass. I actually felt similar to season 1 of Daredevil, although I found it more interesting than Punisher. But when he gets his suit, which is similar to when Punisher becomes the Punisher, I thought it was better after he actually gets to that point, because, you know, the Wolverine origin movies were nowhere near as good as Wolverine, because we already all know who Wolverine is. We just get straight into it. We don't need an explanation. Much like I didn't need to see Spider-Man bit by a spider 7 times either. Although I do love Spider-Man.
Or Batman losing his parents every time.
I thought Iron Fist was quite good, but it just like I thought season 1 was good, but I thought season 2 just was like didn't know what, like pretty much like we said, like didn't really know what it was doing.
Yeah,
Especially because they went back to.
he got 2 hands then, didn't he?
but at the end of season 1, it goes back to, is it Kamlu? Goes
Yeah.
back to Kamlu, and then the end of season 2, it was like, psych, we're back here. And I was like, okay.
But it's called the Iron Fist. Now it's called Iron Fists because he gets 2, but then he loses it to another pit. See, there's a bit of spoilers here, but
go watch Iron Fist. Everyone comment.
But what did you think of Spider-Man New Day, where the hand is in it?
The trailer.
Yeah, the trailer. So
Yeah,
the hand
it looks
from.
Awesome. Looks awesome. Have you seen the 90s cartoon?
Yes.
Remember Man Spider?
Yes,
Tell you what it is. It looks boss.
I've read
my favourite bits of the original.
I've read different comics where he finds out he's dying and he goes to different Avengers to find out, and they said it's uncurable. And then some villain comes, he ends up fighting them off and then dies. But then in his dream, a giant spider comes and gives him a choice to come back to life. If he does something, comes back, and then all his powers are now censored. He's got manual webs. He doesn't have to build anything. It censors them more. So it could lead into 2 ways. Either the man spider, which I don't think they'll turn him mutated, or something will happen to him where he will have enhanced senses.
It just feels very 90s cartoon in the sense that, like, what you had happen in there, and you're not going to get the last bit of this, but you could get most of this, is you had them turn into Man Spider. They needed a neogenic recombinator, I think it was called. And Doc Connors was there to do that, so obviously Bruce Banner's replacing that part of it, where he couldn't understand his genealogy, which also makes a lot of sense given what the Hulk did. Kind of weird what they did with the Hulk, but like he will understand that part of it because he understands mutation and stuff, which may also lead into X-Men as well, which is quite cool because that's obviously all about mutation. But I also think as well, like what they did in the 90s cartoon, if you remember, it was the Punisher came to hunt him down. So I think what they'll go with this one is that Punisher is again hunting him down, but he starts off being a little bit more friendly towards him, and then he starts to get more into the hunting phase. But if you remember in the 90s cartoon, Craven comes to hunt him. There's absolutely no chance to bring Craven into it. But no. I think they'll use the Punisher to do both roles. I think he'll start off where he's a little bit more like, he's a little bit more friendly towards him. And then as he starts to morph into Man Spider, I do think he might become Man Spider, but it'll be brief.
I reckon Sony ruined them characters. He ruined Craven. They put him as a fan favourite instead of a villain. They've done the same with Morbius.
I think the problem with all of them, apart from Venom,
they don't have a standalone. They shouldn't have a standalone.
That's the problem. The reason why they're good, and they're good in the comics and they're good in the series, is that they exist with Spider-Man as the antithesis to Spider-Man, especially putting them into like the sort of anti-hero zone where, you know, like Craven's a bit like, funny analogy, Craven's a bit like Dexter, right? Like he's a killer, but he a lot of the time he hunts bad people. So like it makes you think about whether his character is needed. But like when you put him in his own film, he loses that part of it that was part of Spider-Man, where Spider-Man offsets him because he's good. Venom's the only one I feel like could hold his own movie, and I think that's shown. Morbius was okay.
No, what I don't understand about this new Spider-Man, nobody knows his identity as Peter Parker to Spider-Man, but he's still an Avenger. He goes and sees Hulk.
No, that makes sense.
But he can't say, I'm Spider-Man. They go, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's more that people have forgot who Peter Parker is, right? So he could reveal himself again, but like everybody in the world has forgot who Peter Parker is. just Avengers, the main people. Like Happy Hogan, he could have easily put him to one side and said, do you know I know her because I was son. Doctor Strange will tell you whatever. They could have done something about it. It's just But Pringles, Walkers, welcome back to the FoodFight podcast. Right, we are back. TV show and movie podcast coming soon.
Ooh, I'll still win. What we are going to discuss, I'll get Dan started now. He has chose Pringles. I find it difficult to argue against both of them because I love crisps. Pringles is up there with Walkers for me. I love them both, But Dan's took Pringles because he loves Pringles more, so I'll let him start off with everything about Pringles. Why do you like them?
You know what? I'm not going to start off with everything about Pringles. I'm going to start off being anti-Walkers.
Okay.
Why is your cheese and onion packet blue?
I always got this and salt and vinegar green. It's so confusing.
It's wrong. It's just wrong. It should be that way.
Well,
Cheese and onion's green. Always has been. Every brand does it.
well, I don't know if
It offends me.
I don't know. I said I'm not one. I'm not no part of Walkers. I just support them. I do agree. Salt and vinegar should be blue. Cheese and onion should be green. But I don't know if they've swapped it for a certain reason, so they're different.
When I get me packet of cheese and onion and eat them, I don't want to feel like I've gone into the multiverse where they're actually blue.
Then going back to the Marvel days.
Yeah. Kind of felt like the right time.
Well, with Walkers, I just know they are the British of British.
I'll tell you what Walkers are, right? They're okay. They're an okay crisp.
Well,
They've only got one good brand of crisp, in my opinion. One like top tier brand of crisp, but I'm going to leave that to see whether you bring it up.
well, I like all of them. I like which notes did I bring up here? We have got.
I could think of loads. You've got cheese and onion, salt and vinegar, ready salted.
Oh no, that's flavors. I'm talking about.
Monster Munch.
I'm talking about classics.
Monster
With
Munch.
bake to the max to the sensations. You've got a variety of crisps.
Sensations are the best. Max are good as well.
Then flavors, we've got your core ready salted, cheese and onion, salt and vinegar, barbecue. I'll say roasted chicken, and then they start going batshit crazy with flavors now. Some of them are good, some of them are not. So I'll go with the one what I don't think I can say without throwing up is tomato sauce.
I thought it was good, the tomato sauce one.
Yeah, but you love tomato sauce.
Yeah, I do.
They done
Coming soon, the tomato sauce podcast where it's only ever about tomato sauce.
So tomato ketchup, I'll say that. They had Marmite, do some weird flavours, but if we're talking about core, I think Walkers are exceptional.
But what's exceptional about Walkers? They're just okay.
Well, for me, they're very versatile.
That's not exceptional, that's versatile. That's two different things.
So
James Milner is very versatile, but it doesn't make him the greatest ever centre mid.
Because he never started a centre mid.
He did. He played centre mid every week for Villa. And he played there for
And how old was he at Villa?
7 years.
No, he was a winger.
He wasn't?
When he started out, was he started out at Villa or Newcastle?
Leeds.
So he was a winger there.
He was a striker when he started for Leeds, actually.
We'll figure this out.
Mr. Versatile, who wasn't great. Like, don't get me wrong, James Milner, absolutely fantastic player. As a Liverpool fan, one of the best players we've ever had. But versatility was his key skill, and being good in different positions. But it was never being great in any one position.
So with Walkers, the crisp, not the footballer,
the James Milner of crisps. Go on.
So I like.
There's two things about that, by the way. Like, one, they're very versatile, but they're not really good at anything. And two, they're also really boring. Carry on.
I'm getting amped.
Sound like I'm going off on James Milner.
Right.
Absolutely love James Milner.
Walkers, nostalgia. I have them on my school lunch. I'll have them as crisp butties. I can share them. Back in the day, you'd have a little red card and you'd get a tenner, direct money in your hand. When did Pringles ever do such thing?
Pringles have the greatest advertising campaign ever. Pringles. You can't argue against Pringles.
Are you Gary Lineker?
No.
Gary Lineker.
Pringles.
He cried for years and what a thief. He stole everyone's Walkers. And what Walkers did he always eat? A blue packet of cheese and onion.
No, I think that, like, you know, you got Pringles have, like, sour cream Pringles, the greatest, like, traditional Pringles. You don't want to call Pringles traditional, but, like, the staple of Pringles is definitely sour cream. Absolutely sour cream. There's loads of other good flavours. The barbecue ones, Tex barbecue.
I would say fantastic. Your core is probably 4. You've got sour cream, salt and vinegar, barbecue, ready salted. And that's where it stops at the door. When you start doing these barbaric flavours, which is they're doing now, cheesy cheeseburger, pizza flavour.
Both companies are doing that though. So
I know, that's why I said they're the core ones you start doing.
Pringles also very versatile. We've got the spicy ones, not a big fan of them, but we do have them. We've also got the extra crunchy ones. We've also got the seen the really thick ones. No.
I've never seen any other flavour or sort of Pringles apart from
There's loads
Pringles.
Of them. There's loads of them. You've got the ones that are like Doritos style. They're meant for dipping. They're the extra thick ones, so that they'll
Doritos.
No, you've got like a Pringles specific product that is meant to be the equivalent of Pringles, like Doritos. So the Doritos are meant to be like for sharing, having dips with. Pringles are their own version of that. They're still shaped like a normal Pringle, and they're actually shaped better because you can get it in school.
Are yours baked or something? Because I know.
Yeah.
Because
they're the literal equivalent of Walker's baked, which is the best type of Walker.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I like mine natural crisps, like just normal.
They're outdated, a bit like your ideals. Oh. So like they're just very they're just boring. Like they're just generic crisps. There's no real difference between them and the Asda crisps.
I think there is the flavour.
They're all generic.
The only thing I
was Asda can get the packet colours right.
What I think a boost for Pringles against Walkers is you have that tube. Yeah. It's an elegant tube. It's great. You can use it as a microphone. You can use it as a telescope after you used it.
You can use it as a storage tube to store things like nails and screws.
Speaking of storage things, videos I've seen of people popping the hole out of the bottom, putting the meat and 2 veg in it and offering people Pringles, and they're grabbing Pringles. They're getting schlong. It's disgusting, and I love it.
Also versatile.
Versatile.
Also versatile. Definitely getting cut that bit, but also versatile.
No, that is leave that in. That is amazing. But if no matter what, at the bottom of the last, say, last 5-10 always broken, then you look like a gremlin.
Always broken.
Oh, you're like a gremlin. You can't stick your hand. You can't stick your hands in it unless you're a child. Then you're gargling it, and that looks.
No, you can. If you get the can right and squeeze it ever so slightly, then you can get your hand in.
Oh, so you've got to squeeze a can to get your hand in. I've seen people necking it. It looks like a disgusting profanity what they're doing because it's going like that, trying to get the.
Because once you pop, you just can't stop. I'll cough all the way through that. I'll say that again. Because once you pop, you just can't stop. You can't help yourself. They're so moorish. They're so nice. You want all the flavours.
That is a great slogan. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Go on a plane, mate. They do sell Walkers, but no one ever buys the Walkers. Everyone buys those little tubs of Pringles.
I was even saying before I went out, I think it was last episode, I got some Easter stuff, and the Pringles tube was like this. Now it's like this. It's bigger than it was, and I've never seen that before. Do they have more different sizes, or is it just that the new standard?
No, but they still sell the little ones on planes and stuff.
Oh, so the other go them for planes, then for snack size, and then I wouldn't even say the Mazzy though.
No. You also have the dead long one. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, is that with the individual?
Yeah, I think it's more. Well, you got the individual one as well, but I think they do a really, really, really long one. Like I don't know if it was like a promotional one, but do you remember the?
Is it a yard?
Remember the Jaffa Cake ones?
Yeah.
So it's meant to be like the Pringles version of it.
I don't know if I like that because I know the Jaffa Cake one would be a full row of Jaffa Cakes.
Yeah, but the Pringles is different flavors. That's what's good.
So it'll be individual tubes inside the long thing. Because I'm saying if it was just crisp, that's not gonna last.
No, you'll never be able to get your hand in it.
And then that'll be a funnel. It'll be like a yard of ale where you like that. But Walkers are the crisp.
They used to be.
Right. Let me go on my Google machine. Walkers are every crisp because they've got not just Walkers Sensations Max. They have Quavers, What's Its, Monster Munch, Squares, French fries, Sun Bites. Walkers even own Smiths, which has Frazzles, Chipsticks, Scampi Fries, Bacon Fries. They also co-own by PepsiCo Walkers, the parent company.
Great Pepsi there. You love a Pepsi, don't you?
So they've got Lay's, Doritos and Cheetos. So Walkers have got the fingers in many pies of the crisp.
Yeah, too many pies.
No.
They're going to make one really good, exceptional product, which is actually what Pringles are. Pringles
have done amazing that they are not part of the Walker's brand. They have done exceptionally well. They are a great crisp. For me,
They're the best crisp. There's no argument about it. They're the best.
I
crisp.
relate to Pringles for cinema snack because they never sell Walkers in the cinema, but they do sell Pringles.
Walkers is the type of crisp that you put in a school lunch because they're generic and you just throw them in there. No one does that with Pringles because Pringles are actually exceptional. If you go out to a pub and you want to have a packet of crisp, you might get the Walkers if they've got nothing else, but you want Pringles. If you go on a plane,
you always get Walkers in a pub.
You do, but no one buys them. The walls always full. If you've got Pringles there, they only buy them when the Pringles are not there. But so if
that's what audacity! No, every pub will sell nuts and crisps, and it'd always be Walkers. If they sold Pringles in there, they're like
sell Pringles.
So they'd be like this in a tube.
No, not they sell the little ones, not the big ones.
Oh, so you go done.
Yeah, much like you do with the pack of Walkers. There's probably more. I would say that there's probably more crisp in the small box of Pringles than there is.
You're talking about these thick ones or these little the original tube?
The original small tube. There'll be more crisp in there than there is in a Walker's.
Do you ever
on planes the same or in cinemas? Again, Pringles all day.
I say I can't go against Pringles because I love Pringles, but I do like Walkers.
I think leave.
I like
Pringles
Walkers.
Pringles are king.
I like Walkers more for the variety, like the sensations. I like them because I like to do spicy ones, but I wouldn't go for original spicy. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll say instead of just having like a hot flavor, they'll say we're having Tabasco sauce flavor. It has to be a something brand what's come to and it's. I don't like that, but the same with Pringles. But I didn't mention with Pringles, prawn cocktail.
I love prawn cocktail.
That's a crisp. I love prawn cocktail.
Yeah,
Pringles.
They both do.
But what is your favorite Pringle?
Sour cream, but special shout out to the Texas barbecue sauce.
Salt and vinegar for me.
Oh,
I love a tube. I can smash a tube of salt. I
always feel like something is like a rogue shout.
It is very potent, and there is a lot of salt in it. But as a cinema snack, quenches your hunger, swigging that Coke down while you're having it, and it sets you for the cinema, and that was my
go-to.
Yeah, that was my go-to. A Pepsi, sorry, not a Pepsi. It was a Coke.
No, it was a Pepsi.
It was a Coke.
Pepsi. You got yourself in there.
It was a Coke, a packet of Pringles, and I would look at the pick and mix because I could never afford the $20.99 for a pick and mix in the old.
Everything is ridiculous expensive.
What was it called? The Empire.
In Wigan.
Yeah, what was it called?
The Empire. Yeah.
Empire.
But it was Empire for a long time, right? And then it was a View. Is it a View now?
No, it's like an Omniplex or something like that. They shut down for 6 months, then become an Omniplex.
So I knew they had the View in Southport.
Yes, the View's in Southport and Bolton.
I think it became a View as well in Wigan for a bit. Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, I don't. I went to Empire. I went to something else. It was exactly the same.
Was it Cineworld?
Cineworld.
Yeah. I knew it was an Empire for a bit. Oh yeah.
Another key for the Walkers is you can put them on any butty, and it'll elevate that butty 100%.
Disagree.
You never put Pringles on a butty.
You could no. Well, you can. You can definitely put. You can definitely put Pringles on a butty, but you can't put Walkers on any butty. You can definitely put Walkers on a butty, but you can't.
Any meat sandwich, so may I say.
You couldn't put Walkers on a club sandwich.
You could.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
You would put a salt and vinegar on a club sandwich, and that with the salt in it will be perfect. Instead of seasoning any of the chicken or your turkey, you've got salt and vinegar.
I want to make that sandwich for you.
I would love it. Right then, we'll put your Pringles on a jam and lemon curd butty.
No, but I'm not arguing that you should do that.
I never said you should. I said if you can, you can elevate it 100%.
I would argue Pringles for a crisp butty. But if you're putting them on with other things, I think that you can leave the crisp off.
But you're talking like this. Yours is not even real crisp. You're artificial crisp.
They're both crisp. They're both made from the tail.
Yours are more artificial than mine. Yours is more like a crisp paste formed into. Well, if you look,
they're cooked in a different way. That's the only difference.
Yours is not cooked in the same way as
it's
Walker's.
The
original,
fried.
The proper way you've done it.
Walker's is fried, the traditional one. And the Pringles are baked, which is why they're thicker.
What's more popular?
Pringles.
Nope, Walker's original are more popular than the Max or the baked ones because it's more like a crisp paste they make, and then it is put in a form, then cooked. So that's why it's always got that lip on it. That's why
I
the
don't think it matters.
people will
It's
put it.
it's better.
You put it in so it looks like when women have their lip fillers in, so you can put them like duck lips. That's the only reason you can put it as a curve.
Random analogy.
Yes. um. Yes, I don't think I've got any other.
Pringles are the best. I just so good. Like once you pop, you can't stop. You can have them with dips. You can have them on their own. You can have them on a crisp sandwich. You can have them in the cinema. You can have them in on an airplane. You can have them in your house. You can have them in the pub. Although they're always sold out. Like have you not seen in the pub things where they have like the little stacked bits of Pringles, but like they're always left with like the just the Pringles sign, and yeah, you should look for this. But you always see the wall of Walkers that never gets out.
I see.
But at the bottom, that the nuts are always empty, so you know that no one's bought the Walkers.
So I always
You've
see
got
the nuts. I see crisp, which would be scampi fries. You can have Walkers, Golden Wonders. I never see Pringles on there.
Golden Wonders are better than Walkers, actually. More flavourful.
I do think they're flavourful.
What's the other one we give with S? Is it
Smiths?
C something? C crisps?
It
might actually be C.
I see girls.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know anyone give me C. Oh, I think I do. C some.
Yeah, SE.
Yeah, SEA. Yeah. C scales.
Something like that.
I know it because it's a black. It's like a stripe.
Yeah,
it's like kettle crisp as well.
Yeah, I think the new ones of them, they're always like white packets with the big logo on the top. It's like in a footy badge style. Yeah,
actually,
Google it.
I have the time. So go on, you tell me some more about your artificial crisp.
Well, artificial or not, are the best crisp. Literally, once you pop, you just can't stop. They're not like a generic crisp that you just throw in there.
Seabrook,
more flavourable than Walkers. In fact, pretty much everything is more flavourable than Walkers.
You can't see it. That's Seabrook. That's the crisp.
Shout out to Seabrook. One of the only crisps Seabrook actually that actually tastes good is ready salted, because ready salted, in my opinion, is the most boring flavour. But the Seabrook one actually quite nice.
Yeah, to be honest, they don't have any flavour.
You do?
At all.
You do?
No, I'm not saying Seabrook doesn't, but I'm not ready salted across the board.
Okay, yeah.
Golden Wonders are probably quite flavourful. Disco's flavourful.
Yep.
But
so Walker Sensations are flavourful, but I feel like they had to make the Sensations brand in order to actually make it flavourful.
So what would you put your top 5 Pringle flavours up, and I'll put my top 5 flavours up? What would you say your top 5 is?
Sour cream's top.
Okay.
Texas barbecue sauce is second.
Is Texas barbecue sauce and barbecue the same, or how is it different?
I believe it's just Texas barbecue sauce Pringles. Google it. We're using my phone to record, so you'll have to.
Right, go on. Texas barbecue.
Pringles. Just put barbecue Pringles and it'll be Texas barbecue sauce. I think.
BBQ Pringles.
It's Texas barbecue sauce, right?
So you've got smoked barbecue.
Texas barbecue sauce.
See what I mean?
Texas barbecue sauce. That's the one I mean. Texas
They have smoked barbecue ribs flavour. Why would it never tastes like that? So why would you make these flavours? They never taste the same. They actually have cheese and onion Pringles, not sour cream as well.
That's fourth.
Right, okay.
So
I have a array here.
I'll just do top 3.
Go on.
Right, because otherwise I'll be here all day trying to think of them.
They have a beer flavour.
Pringles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's terrible.
Well, Walkers were the first one to introduce that, I think. Remember a couple of years ago, like 10, 15 years ago, when like beer battered chips came out, when they were like all the rage?
I was never a fan, so
I wasn't a fan of them either, but the crisps actually came out at the same time as that. As Walker's the first one to do it, I believe. Like, do not quote me on that, because I'm thinking about what I first seen in Asda.
So for my top 5, I would say...
We'll go with top 3, so you can...
top 3.
So, because I think once you get into like 4 and 5, are kind of...
Are they going from mine?
Oh no, let me finish my Pringles first. Sour cream and onion.
Yeah.
Texas barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Prawn cocktail.
Strong. That's a strong suit. For me, I would say salt and vinegar.
Boring.
100% the best flavorful. I will put
Alright.
Worcester sauce
Oh.
second. Honestly, it's so
Oh
moreish.
my god.
And I was going to say prawn cocktail because you brought it in, but I will do roast chicken. These are full of flavour. What I'm going with just flavour, not just how it is.
Probably
Flavour.
the 3 worst crisps I
Bar-
could name.
Barbecue's very sickly after a couple. Because don't
Smash.
forget,
No,
a packet of crisp is this big.
it
A
doesn't.
tube of yours is that. You can't eat that
It
much.
doesn't matter because once you pop, you just can't stop. Doesn't matter what it tastes like.
So once
I
you
could
pop,
sit
you
there-
become a beast.
I could sit there and even eat a full packet of salt and vinegar Pringles. I don't really like them, but once you pop, you just can't stop.
I'm like that with salt and vinegar, but with barbecue, that's too much. I have to stop. I'll
No,
have to put the
barbecue's-
lid on it and then hand them over.
Barbecue's so good. The Texas barbecue. I was close to putting that number 1, but I do really like. So if I had to go in and pick one, it would definitely be sour cream. Like if it was the last packet of crisp I'm ever gonna have, it'd be sour cream Pringles, closely followed by Texas barbecue.
Do Walkers do a sour cream? I just know they do
They
cheese
used to,
onion.
but I don't think they do it anymore.
Is there any flavours what are out there where you're like, that's bad, but you've had them and went, oh, that would have to change my mind? No, not just what Pringles,
I would say like
paprika.
no. I'm quite boring eating, you know I am. So.
I know Pringles have brought out a hot one, and I spoke to you before. I've heard a rumor Burger King are having Pringles on the menu. That's how much Burger King is struggling.
No,
without
shout
the
out to
King.
Burger King. That's epic.
We spoke. We looked at that chocolate burger. They're looking out now.
No, that's AI. That's AI.
That once the King's gone now, who's got hands at that boat?
There's no confirmation of that.
I don't think Walkers are linked to any sort of brand. I know most of the crisp at Subway are Walkers, and Walkers own the rest of the crisp. Like,
The Walkers own Doritos.
yes, they're part of the PepsiCo.
Didn't realize that. So, well, we're owned by Mars, which also owns Dolmio.
Who?
Dolmio, you know the sauce
No.
for barbecue. Not barbecue.
I can honestly say this might be
Pasta sauce. Dolmio.
Domino.
Dolmio.
Dolmio.
Yeah. Dolmio. Dolmio. You must have seen the advert.
I might have, but I'm just like, I've never heard of that
Wow.
pronunciation. I'm not really a fan of barbecue stuff. I can have hints of it, and that'll be all. Like, if I have ribs, they have to be no barbecue sauce.
This is the day our friendship ends.
I love a barbecue. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like the barbecue sauce is
Barbecue
too
sauce
strong.
is epic.
A barbecue sauce is too strong. A bit on the side.
Do you know?
But that's why I like barbecue crisp to a certain degree.
Do you know what
On a crisp, perfect. By itself, no.
Do you know where I actually fell in love with barbecue sauce?
Barbecue?
No, it was actually around your wedding.
My wedding?
Your wedding was in America.
Oh, the USA.
Yeah. So when we went to Applebee's, you introduced me to the unlimited ribs.
I was drunk by that point.
Yeah, but I've absolutely loved those ribs ever since.
Put your hand up if you want a 4D chess. Lifestyle. Lifestyle.
Put your hand up if you want a 3D chess, because it wasn't 4D, it was 3D.
Mine wasn't.
I also let him win because it was just win.
And I was drunk. We had a 12-pack, unlimited wings. We couldn't get into a pirate bar.
You had the Blue Moon and hated it. Do you remember that?
No, you had an orange peel drink.
Yeah, but you had Blue Moon. Hated it.
Damn.
I didn't know what Blue Moon was for another 10 years, but then I came over to the UK and I was like, oh, okay, now I know what it is. Still terrible.
What did you sing on the karaoke where you pronounce yourself from Blackpool, England?
Hero. Enrique Iglesias Hero.
Classic night.
Classic staple for me on the karaoke.
Also, you do get arrested for jaywalking while drunk. Just note to everyone out there.
We didn't get arrested.
We didn't get arrested, but we know there was so many coppers about, wasn't there? And we dragged our friend out. I reckon we go to the polls, see what people are saying.
Let's do it. Let's go to the polls.
Pause.
We're about to score a Pringle.
Right, the polls are in. So voting goes over 3 social networks. So on Facebook, Walker's took it. On Instagram, Dan took it.
That's
And
Pringles.
On Pringles, I apologise. Let me say that again. The polls are in. The results over 3 social networks. So on Facebook, Walker's took it. On Instagram, Pringles took it. And on TikTok, Pringles took it. Pringles take the win with 57.4%.
Come on, Pringles.
Walkers get 42.6%. I don't, for a British staple, that is, I don't understand.
They're boring.
They're not boring.
They are boring.
Well, Walkers brought the flavour, but the Pringles brought the dominance.
We brought interestation. That was terrible.
I don't know what you said. Infestation.
Interesting. I'm making a word. Walker's brought interesting flavours to it. Hang on. Pringles brought actual interesting flavours to it, and they made it better, like a traditional crisp. It was good when people used to eat like potato and meat every day, but like you took a potato, made it a little bit better. But we moved on since Victorian times. Pringles are so much better, and the people have just proved that.
Well, I found that struggle because I do love Pringles. I think they are up there with Walkers, but I think because you got a fancy tube and the flavours are solid, your core flavours, you do get more in a tube than you do a packet of crisps. So I will favour Pringles as well, but I do love me Walkers, hence why I argued it. But yes.
I don't think I would ever go into a shop and buy Pringles.
No, it's only for a special occasion, like a barbecue.
I'll re-record. I don't think I would ever go into a shop and buy Walkers. Just don't see the point.
Well,
most of the crisps are better. I might buy Walker's Sensations. I don't know what I buy, but like.
So you do buy Walkers?
Well, no, I meant.
Nope, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He will buy Sensational Walkers, but he doesn't buy a packet of Walkers.
You argued for traditional Walkers being good in your previous comment. Yeah. That's what I would never buy. But like the world moved on from that 20 years ago.
We both talked about different versions.
The people agree with me, Steve.
I'll take the sour grapes right for the shout out. We are going with Grad Smart. We're going to hand it over to the winner. Let me see if I can grab it. I'm hitting every different app going.
Right, the shout out this week is for Grad Smart. So with Grad Smart, say goodbye to the old school job search. At Grad Smart, they're changing the game with personalised job matching. You're more than just a CV to Grad Smart. They're here to spotlight the skills, interests, and unique elements that make you you. Their intelligent platform introduces you to jobs that you'll genuinely love, maybe even ones that you never knew existed. And the icing on the cake, you can apply with just one click. So if you're ready for a career that is as unique as you are, head over to www.gradsmart.co.uk and get matched today. That's gradsmart.co.uk.
Right, that's a shout out for this week. Dan's took the win. I've got the sour grapes.
W's.
And on next episode will be our last for the series. And it's been stated now at the ready that I am the winner of season 1. I have had the most wins from you, the fans. I couldn't have done it without you. And I've heard there's a winning prize.
Yeah. Well done for everyone in voting. Congratulations, Steve. You big prick.
Get my hand, grab it, and raise it high. So everyone can see this guy. I pick the best foods. I argue it well. Yous agree. The comments go crazy with how much they agree with me. But give me my prize.
No.
Yes.
Here's your prize, sir.
I
have not seen this yet.
I want a drum roll. I want some music. I want some horse.
I thought you might get something like this. So you, sir, congratulations. You are the FoodFight World Champion, fan-voted season winner.
Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? Let's have a look at this. It says debate champion on one side, and it says fan-voted champion on another. Check that out, Dan.
All right. Not fighting me, hit me in the face with it.
All I can say is I am the winner, but I'm not going to be the only one getting something. So with Dan, as he's a loser and he gives up rubbish arguments and picks rubbish foods, and I won't be the only one who'll be getting something. For losing, Dan will be getting posted on social media soon, doing something quite embarrassing. You'll have to keep an eye out for it. And because he's the loser, he will get punished by embarrassment. Keep an eye out for it. I've been Steve.
I've been Dan.
Thank you for watching the Food Fight podcast. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, Food Fight, step up to the mic, calling out the food you love and you don't like. 2 plates enter, 1 wins the fight. Who's got the flavor? Food Fight, decide. Oh.